Good morning, markets, and looks like that the market just wake up with a lot of risk on mood because gold is falling, AUD, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar is getting stronger. And seems like this is all coming from the weekend. Donald Trump has met with the Vice President of China, and some talks about reducing tariffs and making business from China to US have been into play, and that's exactly what I want to get to today. But before we go any further, I need you to like and subscribe to the channel and share this content with your friends, because this is really important to us and keeps us, happy on having new videos every single day. Look at the quality you get those videos. Look at the Telegram channel. I'm sending posts every single day. So these are the type of content you're missing if you're not into the Telegram. Every single morning I send the market breakdown, a little bit of what happened all the day ago, and what should we expect for the day ahead and the next days ahead of the week. And it's free, and the link to join, it's on the description. Guys, just one little thing here. We're gonna have webinars only Tuesday and Wednesday this week. Thursday, Friday, and next Monday I will be off, so I won't be. You guys won't be having everyday blogs or any updates in the market, Telegram, or either webinars on Thursday. Okay, but back to normal next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as usual. All right, so. Lots of talks. Actually, lots of things happened from last week to this Monday. And, we had the UK trade deal from 25 to 28% tariff that Trump was charging. Now it's only 10% fixed, and UK can export 100,000 vehicles to US without tariffs, a lowered tariff on a lower bracket, and then after that they have another restrictions, and that's based on the last year exports from UK to US. So basically that's good. It shows it doesn't matter much about the actual economy, but it shows a little bit of that Trump is somewhat flexible now into reducing tariffs into other countries, and that's pretty good because market sees this as an optimism. Okay. It doesn't actually. It's always says, as always I say, it's not about the actual data or the actual news. It's about the context, and the context here is good because market has been, I would say, flirting with Trump for quite a while now, and Trump has give this signal that okay, I'm okay to reduce some tariffs where possible. Also, the actual thing that it's moving the market this Monday morning is the Trump talk with Vice President from China. I think his name is Heng Li Fu or something around those lines. Sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. But okay, so the first thing we need to know is that they haven't came up with any decision yet. But against the context, they met. That's the first thing, and that's a good thing already because it's showing that Trump wants to talk to China and that they want to make progress towards the tariffs. That shows two things for us. Well, Trump is optimistic about reducing the tariffs from 140% to 80%. He say that he's fine with it, but now it's up to the former Treasury Secretary from US to decide if that's going to be possible or not. So Trump say yes, it's green light, but now it's from the Treasury Secretary that has to see the numbers and blah blah and see if that's capable or not from US to do. But for that, the second point is Trump wants China to bring business to US. And what does that mean? Well, basically, not only US, but the whole world uses China as the cheap labor. Okay? So, let me just grab something. This thing here, right? This is like little microphones that you can plug and you can do videos and etc. Right? This is an iPhone. Okay, that's the iPhone 16 and the latest model. Okay, this is the phone case from iPhone, and if I look at here, it says designed by Apple in California, but assembled in China. Okay, same goes for the iPhone. designed by Apple in California, but assembled in China. This older guy here says model, blah, blah, but says again, it's from China, made in China, okay? So these are the things from camera. It's probably say somewhere around made in China as well. So I have pretty much 3 to 4 objects here in my hands, and they're all made in China, but they're from US. So the company's from US, but it's actually made in China, okay? So US brings a lot of business to China because of the cheap labor and because of an open economy, okay? Now, Trump wants China to bring business to US. How is that possible? How is that going to be? I don't have a clue. They're still discussing because we know that it's pretty much like nonsense to do that. But one thing that market is optimism, it's about having that talk. It's about Trump saying that he are good to reduce to 80% the tariffs from 140%, okay? Plus, what else we got? We got a ceasefire from 30 days from a few countries that were fighting, but that's important. But what most important is Thursday this week, Putin and Zelensky is going to meet in Turkey. All right, so Turkey, it's going to be on Thursday. It's going to be a chat for them to come up with an end of the 3 years war already from Ukraine and Russia. And the market is being risk on again. Okay, so selling gold, it's a good option. Selling Japanese yen, Swiss franc, buying Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, buying euro, buying US dollar, it's somewhat of good at this moment of the market. Something can change like literally after we post this video, after I get off here and go out, it can literally change. So always maintain a look into those headlines from the week ahead. Now, what's the things we're going to be having? What we're going to be having into this week? So we have a lot of CPI, GDPs, PMIs, PPIs as well. That's the preferred measure of inflation from the Fed. But everything starting from tomorrow, because today we're not going to have anything. Tomorrow we're going to have unemployment from UK. We're going to have CPI from US at 10:30 p.m. in Australia time, and the core CPI as well. On Wednesday, we're going to be having German CPI. Very important. Remember, Germany is the biggest country of Europe, so therefore it counts a lot from Europe in general. Spanish CPI and Spanish HCPI as well. Thursday, unemployment rate, employment change, and full employment change for Australia, as well as GDP for UK. After later tonight, we're going to have 7 p.m. We're going to have Europe GDP, and then retail sales from US, very important. And Friday, we still have GDP from Japan, very interesting. And we're going to have the PPI as well from US. Now, one more thing is last week we had we had BOE and we had FOMC. A few things I want to note. FOMC is hawkish at the moment, okay? Jerome Powell stated exactly with these words. I'm going to read it for everyone. I'm going to ask actually, Dave, can you put this image? I'm going to be reading for everyone to read as with me. But Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell hinted at the difficult job ahead balancing both high unemployment and inflation. The risks of higher unemployment and high inflation appear to have risen, and we believe that the current stance of monetary policy leaves us well positioned to respond in a timely way to potential economic. So that is hawkish. That is very hawkish. So that basically means that the FOMC is looking to maintain the rates higher for longer, and that they are looking at a deterioration into the economy. Higher unemployment can be possible. Lower average hourly earnings can be possible as well. Higher stickier CPI can be possible as well. So that is maintaining a hawkish stance. As of in Swiss, we're having inflation at 0. So that's very bad. That's really bad. So that's very, very dovish. So therefore, US dollar CHF would be a good long, especially on this risk-on mood, because we have risk on, we have hawkish Federal Reserve, we have a negative close, going to negative inflation into S&P. So lots of things. We'll be diving deeper tomorrow onto the webinar. So for you to join me on the Telegram is the link is on the description. That's where I send the link to the webinar. The webinar will be from 4 to 5 p.m. this Tuesday and this Wednesday. Just remembering Thursday I won't be here, as well as Friday. Guys, have a lovely week ahead. I count to everyone to be here tomorrow, because that's going to on the webinar. It's going to be really great. We can, sort of explain a little bit more of what's going to happen. But yeah, besides that, thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the channel, and send this content to your friend. See you tomorrow on the webinar, or I see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys.